Welcome back to Keys to KO. Today we're going to look at the unorthodox way that pound-for-pound monster Naoya Inoue dealt with an aggressive Southpaw champion, Dasmarinas. The first key was to let Dasmarinas have everything he wanted, then punish him for it. Southpaws generally strive to have the outside foot position because it makes it easier to circle to a superior angle and land their left-hand attacks. Inoue let him have it, but pulled back to counter with the lead hook. This requires perfect distance. Step back too much, and the counter will be too far away. So Inoue needed to dance on a razor's edge and let the punch just skim past his face. The idea here is to take away the entire foundation of his opponent's attack chain. The very first step for Dasmarinas is to use this outside position to jab, so he can follow up with harder attacks. Pretty much every combination your standard Southpaw fighter has will follow this sequence. It was the load-bearing pillar of Dasmarinas' entire offense. Taken away, many Southpaws have very little left. Since the hook was landing around his jab, Dasmarinas tried to move in with the high guard, but Inoue threw the hook anyways, cementing his forearm to Dasmarinas' guard to off-balance him. Inoue used this opportunity to guide him into his opposite hand. The Southpaw's own supposedly superior foot position now working to trip him up. Inoue's next key was to build on this with the jab. Switching off to landing a less powerful punch might seem like a step backwards, but the benefit was that Inoue could step forwards. In other words, Inoue could advance with his jab, while his hook required him to plant down or back up. With an advancing counter, Inoue could keep the pressure on. And with Dasmarinas kept by the ropes, Inoue didn't need to worry too much about defense besides backing straight up. Like any great fighter, Inoue knows that it's a bad idea to move backwards in straight lines. But because he's so good, he also knows exactly where he's positioned in the ring. It's fine to move straight back if you have the whole ring behind you, and that makes it easier to jump right back in after the opponent has spent his attack. Once Inoue had dismantled Dasmarinas' best tool, which had taken all of 2 rounds, he went in for the finish. The last key was using power punches to shape the opponent's guard, much the same way generals try to shape a battlefield. In this case, a 1-2 was used to tighten the guard, so the body hook could come around to the side. Dasmarinas still might have reacted in time, but Inoue had spent so long prepping him to expect head hooks, his conditioned response was to raise his guard, further exposing his sides.
Knockdown scored by the monster! Liver. Left hook to the liver! Liver shot!
This may well have been the finish, but Dasmarinas is an incredibly tough competitor.
Stalking his prey! Steady himself on his feet. Inoue stalking, goes to the body, left uppercut comes in as well.
That's what you do when you hurt a person to the body.
Oh, another body
right
shot.
Back down there.
Trying to survive the fouls, another body shot comes in. Look at Inoue!
Despite Inoue's love of consuming liver, rivaling that of my 90-year-old British grandmother's, he couldn't take another bite out of Dasmarinas's until the next round. The same sequence that had scored the knockdown in the second, inside foot jab, cross to lead hook, wasn't working because Dasmarinas had the outside foot position to back Inoue off with his left counter. But an outside angle proved far more effective, allowing for longer combinations and an outside angle that gave Inoue exactly what he was looking for. Somehow, Dasmarinas got up, a true warrior in the ring, but Inoue used some very slick footwork. A Mike Tyson-esque jump turn. He had tried this earlier on, but missed. This time, the new angle surprised his opponent, and the show was over. If you would like to learn more, you can check out my books on footwork, power, defense, and style building, linked below. From the Modern Martial Artist, this has been David Christian, wishing you happy training.